Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
The concept of a micro school is the reimagining of the one-room schoolhouse. My name is Tamara Becker. I'm the president and CEO of Adamo Education. The micro school concept really does not just lend itself to the personalization and the customization of learning, but also the social development and fostering that sense of love for learning. Unlike what we see in traditional brick and mortar schools, we have multiple grade levels in the same learning space. Students can be enriched by the socialization that they get, as well as the academic support from peers. What differentiates Adamo is the fact that we are taking the best pieces of brick and mortar, of digital, and then at-home learning. Students here can come 5 days a week. They can come 4 hours a day. It will really just depend on what is best for the student and for the parent. To enroll, just reach out via phone, text, or email, and we'll have that personalized conversation, and we'll be able to get you all set. Check us out at adamoeducation.org.
This is Ed Cohen in San Diego, and it's the 20th of October already. Boy, doesn't it seem like the Earth is spinning faster, and that's what seems to make the days go by so fast, and already it's October 20. Amazing. Our very special guest today in this education TV series is Tamara Becker, and she's an entrepreneur and a longtime education professional. And Adamo is the company name, but let's not get into all that. Let's get into knowing about Tamara. Hi, welcome.
Thank you. How are you today, Ed?
Good. Really looking forward to this show. So school year is underway. How's it going?
First quarter is in the books. We are serving 18 students in the Fountain Hills, Arizona area, and those students are thriving. So we are excited.
How old are the students? What's the range?
We have students in kindergarten through 7th grade. We don't have any 8th graders this year, but up through 7th grade. So we have a wide range of students, and a couple in grade level bands. So we have about 4 5th graders and 3 6th graders. So it's a nice mix. It's really neat to see the older kids working together and supporting education for the younger kids as well.
So I've got some questions because I'm older, and I think this one-room schoolhouse sounds bizarre. But why don't you tell us about this micro education concept? And I'm an outsider, and I'm listening.
So the micro school is a re-envisioning back to the concept of the one-room schoolhouse, where you have students in multiple grade levels in the same learning space, working, developing their skills together, and really helping to support developing a love of learning and success overall. We're at Adamo, we're taking the best of digital learning, face-to-face learning, and at-home learning, and putting it all together into one complete educational experience for parents and students.
So is the best success, now again, I'm just winging it with you, but is the best success with kids who have younger or older siblings in the house?
I don't necessarily think that's the case, because I think it's about how the kids learn to socialize and how the students learn to interact with one another. So whether you're a single child or you have siblings, I think that you can thrive and flourish in an educational environment. It's about developing those skills.
Fascinating, isn't it? The whole psychology of one room. One room. Is it really one room?
It's we've got like 2.5 rooms, but most of the students are together in the same learning environment, and then we have extra spaces where they can break off and do different types of physical activities, projects, hands-on learning things. So it's a small environment. We're about just under 2,000 square feet.
Okay, so my favorite topic I had a couple favorite topics in my younger days, geography, and to this day it still is. But um, so, and I aced that. I was way ahead of my peers for some reason. I don't know. I like to learn the state names, the capitals, the rivers, and where things were. So not everybody is like that. Others are more inclined to be introspective and digital, meaning what's right in front of them, not big picture. And these people tend to be computer nerds when they grow up, or mathematicians and engineers, but I'm not that way. So there must be kids who have a similar affliction like I had, of wanting to look at the big pictures and how things fit together, concepts rather than mathematical.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that in the classroom?
Well, the nice part is, like I said, we have 18 students. We have 2 staff members, 2 certified teachers, and then we have a full-time paraprofessional. So we're able to really hone in and develop individualized plans for each student, so that we know that we're covering the content that we need to cover so that they can master the skills and concepts for their grade level, but then also bring that learning to life for them and really meet them where they are. We have students at Adamo that are bright and excelling. And we also have students who receive special education services who need a lot of remediation. And in giving school choice options to parents and students in Fountain Hills, we're really trying to meet the needs of that community.
So let's talk about procedure, classroom procedure. So once again, just to use me as an example for a second, and you can change the topic anytime now, but on geography, a younger brother or sister who's like 6 years old, and I would be like 10, 4th grade or something like that. I would already know where the Mississippi River was and what states were not along the Mississippi River, because again, I was into that. But others, man, they don't know anything. I mean, they don't even know where the Gulf of Mexico is. And so how do you compensate in instruction without having people drift off, because it's over their head or not up to their speed?
So we try to develop our projects and our collaborative time in grade level bands so that students can have relevant learning material that aligns to what it is they're expected to know and understand. But in hands-on types of projects, we just modify and adjust it down. So for the younger students, we would be working on understanding the community and what that looks like for them, while the older students, like you said, would maybe be focusing on what we're actually focusing on with our older students right now is colonization. So we're doing a simulation related to colonization, talking about why people from England were coming over, what they needed to do when they were colonizing, what were the important facets for looking for a good place to colonize, and teaching history in that way through a hands-on simulation versus reading a book.
Okay, so let's talk about the culture of this kind of education. Give us some background about yourself. Tell us about your job, tell us about yourself, and why you came to the conclusion that this is what's needed at this particular time.
So I've been in education for 25 years. I've been in all facets, starting as a classroom teacher, special ed teacher, director of special education, and assistant superintendent, and lastly a superintendent. So I've done a lot within the field. And as we were moving through the pandemic, I saw an opportunity for education to innovate. And unfortunately, as we started coming out of the pandemic, I saw us go back to doing the exact same thing we've always done. And so I really felt this pull and this desire to start something new and to be that innovator in the educational landscape and really try to make a difference for parents and students. And what I'm seeing is there's the need out there. Parents aren't as interested in going back into a classroom of 30 kids. They want something more personalized and more customizable. They want to be involved. Our younger students come from 9 to 1 every day, and then they go home and they work with mom and dad to enhance that learning. So parents are involved in what it is the students are doing. And I think that's where we have really developed a culture of the desire to learn and to be successful. What I've noticed is I have a mix of students. Some had gone to a charter school that was open in Fountain Hills last year. Some went to the district schools. Yet they have come together. They know who each other are. They understand their likes, their dislikes, their learning styles, and the students are working together to be problem solvers and innovators in their own education as well.
So the website is called what?
It's www.adamoeducation.org.
That's A like Adam, O?
Yep, ADAMO. And Adamo comes from the Latin word to fall in love with. And that's what we want students to do. We want them to fall in love with learning.
Boy, it sounds like they're going to fall in love with you. What a whole thing. So you're essentially parent advocating too. You're welcoming the parents to be involved rather than stay away.
Yes.
Get involved.
Yeah, we have one of our parents. She's an artist, and she comes in and she does art projects with the kids.
Nice.
So yeah, we love parents to be involved.
What about computer learning?
Well, we have a really phenomenal digital learning platform that we utilize. The kids seem to really enjoy it. It's engaging for them. And then it gives us that opportunity to pull small groups and individual students to work with them in one-on-one settings. So the digital really does help drive what it is we're doing, but at the same point in time, it's also there for reinforcement.
So I assume you have time for breaks and outside, walk outside, get some fresh air, come back in and change the topic to another thing.
Yeah, we actually even have like a little multi-purpose room where we're practicing our math, our multiplication division facts through a program called Hopscotch Math right now. And the kids have actually created the hopscotch patterns on the floor. And some are a little bit wonky, but that's the beauty, that the students are engaged in their learning. So
isn't that fun? So are you into the iCode kind of a thing? Teaching kids how to do all that, or do they already know?
Well, we don't. I know iCode well. It's a phenomenal program. And have not yet been able to look at how I could integrate something like that. But I know kids really do love coding and that hands-on type of learning that the iCode program provides.
So what do you think about the gamification of everything here, making a game out of things? And to what extent are you using it like an Oculus, that all that gee whiz stuff?
Oh, well, we don't have any of that. But, it's reinforcing and engaging for the kids. The digital content that we have does have badges and things that the kids can earn as they complete and are more and more successful. So I think anything that motivates the student is key. And so like you had talked about, some students it really is motivating for, and others it's not. So we find other ways to keep those kids engaged.
So on the younger kids, thinking of when I was a kid, the first time, Sesame Street. I love that show, and that's so clever with Mr. Green, Mr. Purple, and and everybody getting along with people who don't look the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's really neat. Like I said, we have a really diverse group, and I think we all know each other so well now that we've established trust and rapport within our learning environment. And we use a lot of digital reinforcement as well. So we take kind of the best pieces out there and put it together to structure and create that program for kids.
So tell us about the schedule. How do you work that?
Well, it's it's again very individualized. As I mentioned, some of our younger kids come from 9 to 1 every day. Some of them come 4 days a week. Some of our older kids come just 3 days a week. It's about what is going to be the best for the parent and the student, as long as they're learning. And that's the key. So we want to make sure that when they're not there, they still have learning activities to complete. But when they are there, they're engaged with other students and with the teachers and making sure that learning is fun.
Accreditation.
Well, I am a program through an accredited large charter network in the state of Arizona. So I have partnered with EdKey Inc., which is, as I mentioned, a large charter network in the state of Arizona. They have 26 different schools and programs serving students. So EdKey is accredited, and therefore my program doesn't have that accreditation, but because all of the students are enrolled in EdKey, they are enrolled in an accredited school.
Hi, this is Ed, and I thank you for tuning in to Global TV Talk Show, a unit on globalbusinessnews.net. We broadcast to the world, as you know by now. So I wanted to make sure that you understand that our programs are advertising supported. We're grateful for co-sponsors, advertisers. They have a marketing budget coupled with a strong desire to be associated with our top quality program. And of course, I'm grateful. Thank you. So for the next few minutes, you're going to see some commercials. It's mostly very low key, and our prices are very, very reasonable. Our exposure for the advertisers go 12 months and beyond. Some of our advertisers have been with us since March, April of 2020. And Google Analytics has tracked over 125,000 what they call audience page views, which means you looking at this page, that's a page view. Now, if you happen to go to one of our other shows or to our radio broadcasts or to our newspaper or magazine, those become additional page views as measured by Google Analytics. And so when they say 125,000 since spring of 2020 up through Labor Day, a month ago, that's pretty good numbers. And the past 30 days, Google Analytics has measured just under 6,000 audience page views. And that, according to them, is a 42% increase in audience participation over the month of August. So thank you very much. Well, here's our advertisers, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes or so, and we'll proceed with this interesting conversation. Thank you.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
Hi, I'm Sergey Gorbatov.
I'm Angela Lane.
Together we're researchers, writers and practitioners in the field of human resources.
And we've also been multi-country, multi-assignment career expats.
We owe our professional development and growth to a very large extent to the international assignment opportunities that we have had.
But in a world where distributed work may become the norm, we also want to understand what will happen to the nature, duration, and purpose of international assignments.
Together with our colleague, Julian Dalzell from the University of South Carolina, we're undertaking a study on the future of expatriation.
And we'd value your contribution. You can participate in this important study by completing a simple 10-minute questionnaire.
Access the questionnaire by typing in your browser tinyurl.com/expert study. That's tinyurl.com/expert study. You can also find the link here on Ed's website next to this video.
Thank you for joining us in this study. In return for your contribution, we'll provide you with a copy of our research.
And of course, you'll be invited to an exclusive webinar hosted by Ed, where we will share our findings right here on Global Business News.
And so please go to tinyurl.com/expat study. Take the survey so that we can better understand the future of expatriation.
Okay, so where do they go for? I mean, how? It's permanent, of course, but how long does this one-room school house routine and this thinking, it's really advanced. I think it's really a good idea for close supervision and hands-on. I wish I had that in some of those places, but I didn't. So is it geared so that the kids at a certain time and level will move on?
So we can, I mean, if a student is progressing, we can push them further and enrich them. And, you know, as the program continues to grow, then we set up other locations. We want students to be in that smaller learning environment. So we want to grow, we want to serve more students, but doing it in that smaller type of situation. So multiple locations too.
So as far as diversity of the students, Asians, browns, blacks, whatever.
I think our diversity matches the diversity within the community. So it's a good representation of the Fountain Hills community.
So do the students all just are all the students local, or do some parents drive in from Cave Creek or downtown Phoenix, for instance?
So we had one family that had reached out to me over the summer, and they were moving from California, and they were in temporary housing at the time, living in Scottsdale. They ended up finding a permanent home in Mesa, and so they drive from Mesa to Fountain Hills. But the majority of the students live right there in Fountain Hills. I have 2 students who actually ride their bike every day to our location, and then parents drop off. So and again, this particular family that makes that 20-minute drive really believed in what it was we were doing, and believed that this was the best educational option for her boys. And so both of the boys attend Adamo.
And what about food?
Well, we have snack time. They bring their snacks and they bring their lunches.
Right. Okay,
So.
good. Okay. I don't know what else to ask. This sounds like a wonderful program. And are there scholarships available?
Well, it's a free public charter, so anybody can enroll. There's no payment, there's no tuition.
So how do you make money?
Well, because it's through a free public charter and my partnership with EdKey, we have an agreement in place.
So I don't know what else to ask you. This sounds like it's a really complete story. And I congratulate you on your entrepreneurship and your willingness to take this idea, which is a grand idea. So how did it start? You were involved in a superintendent's position or at a high level within an organization. You said, there's another way of doing things. And then you just made it happen.
Yeah, it was a lot of thinking, looking at best practices, seeing what was happening out there, and really then trying to formalize the model, and get the partnership in place with EdKey and making it happen. And I just, again, after 25 years, after being in all aspects of education, I knew I could do something different and serve parents and students in an innovative way that really fostered that love of learning.
I think this is a great thing, and I look forward to circulating this program to our network. And I welcome you to come back and participate in our broader
I would love to.
talk shows. And thank you very much, Tamara Becker, for being on Education TV, a unit of globalbusinessnews.net. So thanks and take care.
Thank you so much, Ed. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.